Hello, welcome back to Funtime Crafts 24/7. This is a Let's Make video, and what we're making today is we are making one of these fabulous Tonic Studios designer bags. It is a really fun set. It was released during their March Madness 2025 sale last week, and I have had so much fun playing with it. It is a really fun, jam-packed set that has all the great little accessories that go with the bag, not just the basic dies, but tons of fun elements for it. So let me show you what it is that I've already created and what I'm gonna make with you, and then we can get started. So, oh, and then I'll show you the die set as well. But let's see what it actually makes. Like, it makes this really cool thing, this really adorable gift bag with all the details, the buckles, the zippers, the zipper pull, the latch mechanism, the detail on the handles, a tassel, a tag, all the fun little accoutrements that go with it that just make this really great and fun. And you can stylize these up however you want, and they are a ball. They're super fantastic. The die makes a gift box that is approximately just the gift box portion here without the handles. This is 6 inches wide, 4 inches tall by 2 3/4 roughly. With the handles, it's about 6 inches tall-ish, depending on where you put your handles and things. But it is a great size. It is really nice. I mean, you could fit a lot in that. That is wonderful. I just love the size of it. So you can add a gift card into it, plus some other fun little gift ideas, little things to add to it. But isn't that darling? And you can customize it to whoever you're giving it to. Maybe you want to use it as a display piece yourself or to store things in. You could store flowers in them, like your little handmade flowers. You can store embellishments in it, all kinds of things. You could actually just use it in your craft room. This one here was made using a an embossing folder that you can get if you buy the bundle. The bundle comes with, the die set is this die set here. This Fabulous Fabrics designer bag die set. I think it was sold out, but they might come back with it. If you bought the bundle, you got 2 embossing folders. This one is called Fabulous Fabrics Quilted Chic embossing folder. It's gorgeous. And then the other one you could pick up is also the Fabulous Fabrics Snakeskin Couture embossing folder. They're 3D embossing folders. They've got great depth and they're really pretty. You can also pick up the Fabulous Fabrics cardstock set. You get 36 sheets of 8x8 200 GSM cardstock, 3 each of 9 double-sided designs, and there are some beautiful ones in this. And I've actually used the cardstock on this one here. I used a couple of them, plus I added some of the details in the other elements in that I didn't on this one because I did the embossing folder. So this one uses some of that pattern paper. The same with the tassel, the tag, and my little accent piece down here. And then these are the extra embellishments that I added here and here. But yeah, you get the belt, you get the buckle, you get these accents, the tassel, the tag, you get the zipper, these all come in it. And then you can do it all up however you want. And look how fun that is. Use a little jean material on the inside. I thought that was so cute. And then the outside has this fun wicker looking style of paper on the outside. So it's just really fun. And you can just customize these for whoever it is you're gifting them to. And then you even get these fun little metallic accents that you can add here and there. They are just a hoot. Oh, I just love these sets. This die set, it is just great. And I love the fact that you could customize them however it is that you want. So let's take a look at the die set, and we'll get started on making one of these really cute little bags. I did alter mine. I didn't make it exactly, which, us crafters have to put our little spin on things. Or you could follow the directions and keep it easy, right? I hardly ever do that, though. So the die set comes with this fantastic sleeve and a magnetic sheet in this folder that has your instructions for assembly on it. It's a double page of instructions there, but shows you how to do all the steps. And then your die set comes it comes on the dies come on a plastic sheet that then you can add to the magnetic sheet if you want to. Oh, or you could keep it on the plastic, whatever you want to do yourself. But this is the die set here. So to start, yeah, so I'll show you what it is I cut out. And but like this is your base die here. This is a layering for the outside of the bag. Your handle plus a layering. Here is a pocket. This here is for the latch. This like one with the double scallops on it. This is for the tassel. This is your locking portion. This is your tassel cap. These are a chain, fun little metallic chain embellishments here. This is your strap for your buckle. This is actually for the zipper portion that makes the closure on the top of the bag. So for the bag to stay closed, you create this strip here that then you accent with the zipper pieces if you want. And this is what keeps it kind of securely closed, so to speak. You're supposed to put that on dimensionals, but I didn't because I didn't like how it looked. I preferred it like this, and they close just fine if you don't do the dimensionals. I did do a double stack of 1/8" adhesive, so it made it a little bit thicker to make it easier for closing, and that just worked perfectly for me. So that's what we're going to do on this one. But anyhow, and so yeah, so that's what that's for. So this is the middle of the zipper, and then these are the ends of the zipper mechanism, but that's the zipper piece that you cut out. That's your little zipper pull. These are just little metallic embellishments of any sort. This is your the front of your lock, and this is your side panel with your decorative pieces there. You need this little hinge here. You have to cut 2 of those. This is the tag plus a layering. Yeah, and so yeah, so let's actually get started here. And then that way you'll get to just see it all versus me just rambling through it. So first off, what I did is I cut out 2 of this die here for the base. And I'm doing my base in white. So I've got 2 of this die. Okay, to start with. And then I have 6 of this die right here. Here, where are you guys? I have 6 of this die. So you got to have 6. It's 3 for each side is what you need. 3 for each side. And then I also cut out this layering to decorate it up with. I cut that out 6 times, and I'm going to layer that on my 6 panels. And then, so then the other thing that you need is you need your handle pieces to start off with. So I cut of the main handle, I cut 4 of those. You need 2 for each side that you're going to do back to back. And then if you want the additional decorative piece, you have to cut that out 4 times as well. And I'm doing a gold metallic on mine. So I have that little fun metallic element on the handles. So we're going to glue those on. So you need that. And then the other thing you need right away is the lock. You don't have to have the latch, this little piece. You just need you don't need this piece, but you do need these pieces here. And this one primarily because this goes, you attach this first onto the base before you put the sides on. So you need one of these. And then they say only one of this one, because this goes to one side and this goes to the back of the bag. But I actually cut a second to layer on the back so it looked nice when it flipped up. So I've got 2 of those. And then I did the layering as well. And I'm going to add that before we attach everything. I like to glue all my decorative pieces on before I put it actually together because it makes it easier to put the layers on if you do it first before assemblage. So and that's basically what you need to start out with to get the box going. So that's what we're going to do here. So now what I want to do is, like I said, I need to actually go ahead and glue all the pieces on. So we're going to glue the metallic elements on the handles. So I've got 1 for each. I'm going to glue right in the center on each of these. And then I'm also going to glue the panels on each of these layers here. But actually what I should do, what I should do is actually attach 3 of each first. So let me do that. Oh, shucky darn. We're going to wait on the handles. We're going to wait on those, and we're actually going to glue these together first. So that way, they adhere really well and they're strong. I'm using art glitter glue to put mine together. You can use glue. You can use score tape. It's your preference, whatever you want to do. So these are the side panels, and I'm doing them first. You don't want to fold any of these. You're just going to use those as a guide to glue together right now. I found if you actually fold those, you get a funky crease when you go around the corner. It doesn't really round very smoothly. So you're just going to line up this edge with that score mark, making sure that your score line, your edge is lined up here, and the little score lines on your little scalloped edge there is all lined up as well. And one more. So we're going to do 3 of those. And see, you're just going to go like that. There's a score mark that you're going to line that edge up with. And then, whoa, Nelly. Slow down. Okay, so then make sure all those score lines are lined up, and then the bottom edge is lined up, and it looks nice and straight. So yeah, so then just burnish it down so the glue gets into the fibers and holds together. And then at this point, I'm going to do both of mine. And that way, these are getting nice and strong. They're having time to dry versus still being wet when we go to assemble it and it wanting to pull apart. And yeah, art glitter glue works the nicest for me. Although I've heard great things about Nuvo. The Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive, I heard works really well and super quick also. You want a fast drying glue like art glitter glue or Nuvo, or Barely Art Glue. And I heard Barely Art Glue has more hang time. You get more work time, hang time. You get more work time when you put stuff together than you do with art glitter or the Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive. And I think you get more work time with art glitter glue than you do Nuvo. Okay, and now that we have those, so you have 3 and 3, right? We're going to add our beautiful layers on top. And you want to be mindful if you have directional paper, depending on which way you want your design to go. This is directional, but I'm not really worried about it. My design is actually technically directional, though. I'm not even going to worry about it, because it'll be beautiful anyways. So I'm just going to glue all my little designer panels right in the middle. There's an embossed detail from when these were cut out that I'm lining this up. I'm just squaring it up in the center of each of these embossed panels. And I think that looks really nice. And this is where you can cut that metallic element out. It's not a metallic element. It could be anything. But there's that crossing element that you could cut out as well. That you could layer on top of this to make it even more fun. I would say probably the amount of all the pieces that I cut out probably took me about 30 to 45 minutes to cut them out. And only because it was my 3rd bag, and I did go a little bit simpler. On the ones where you're actually cutting the layering pieces that go on top of this and all the other stuff with the pocket and everything, I'd say you probably closer to an hour. And that's if you already have all the papers picked out. If you're still doing design choices on what you're going to use for each element, I would say you're probably a couple hours to cut out this bag. So basically what I'm trying to say with all that is there's a lot of die cutting in this, but have fun with it. Enjoy the process. Don't be too serious about it, and everything will come out absolutely beautiful when you're done, no matter what you do. It'll be really cool. Yeah, the bag has such a great design quality to it that you really can't go wrong with it. It's a really sweet bag. They're so pretty. So there it is there. Now we're going to let these guys dry, and we're going to go ahead and put our handles together. And the first thing I want to do with the handles is, I guess we could actually go ahead and do them back to back. We could actually do them back to back and then put the metallic elements on. So you're going to take two and you're just going to literally go back to back with these babies. And the reason you're doing this is for strength. It makes these handles stronger. And yep, that's all you do. You just line them up and glue them together. And then after you get that done, what you want to do is you want to add your, make sure they're still stuck together. You want to add a metallic ear or whatever decorative element you want to go in the middle. I say metallic because I did all mine in metallic because it looks really cool. I did all mine in the gold. But you do not have to do that. I almost thought about doing turquoise actually on these. Okay, now there is on these handles, there's a guide for where you put it on the bag. And I just tried to like even out the distance, which I didn't do a very good job, as you can tell, the distance from each of the lines when I added this metallic element on. But once you get it on, you don't even notice it. So you don't have to be too particular. You don't want it way off, but if it's not the same, don't worry about it. Because it's super cute once it's all done. We don't have to be too serious about this. Same with this one. And yeah, I just try to line it up in the middle. And that is one handle down. One handle down and one to go. Yeah, using glue on these, you get them a little schmutzy. And I just use, I just put a little moisture on my finger and then just like rub it off and the glue comes off. Pretty good usually. Okay, there's that one. And so I'm going to make one more of those and I'll be right back. Okay, once you get your handles done, what you want to do is you want to take these two pieces here. Well, you only need one of these for now. You want to take this piece here and you want to go ahead and take one side and you want to fold down the little tabs like this. And I actually don't fold them down. Well, you want to fold them so that way they fold easier, and then you want to fold them back out. And then what you want to do is, and actually you should do both sides because we're going to attach this right now anyways. So do both sides like so. Fold those along the little score lines there on each side. And then I take 1/8 inch score tape, and I use Sook Wang score tape. This stuff is great. It adheres really well. I found that it works really nice. And you want to run that on top of the tabs, like so. And you want to be sure to burnish this down. You want to be sure when you're using score tape that you burnish it onto the page, because that's what actually makes it stick. And pressure. So burnishing, you're just pressing it down, making sure that it's pressed into the fibers of the paper if you can. You can also hit this with glue as well. Once you take the backing off, you can use glue too, if you want to make sure that it stays like forever and ever. Make sure your adhesive is on there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take one side of it and you're going to just follow it around the top of the curve. So the opening goes towards the bottom and you're going to attach it like this. But see how it's straight right now? And this is curved? You want to start at the corner. So match up the corner like that and the edge for edge. And then you're going to just follow those scallops and make sure to go along the edge and stick it to the back like that. And then once you get it stuck to the back, you want to take your bone folder and you want to just burnish those down. Burnish those tabs into the paper. So just press them really good into the paper like that. So you have something like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take and you're going to fold these down. And here is where you want to make a design choice, because you could actually do one of two things. The instructions tell you to follow, like, apply this in the center. So you're going to do the same thing like we did on the front, and you're going to follow the curve. The other thing you can do is, and if you forget to put this on, you can take one more of these, attach it to the other side like this, and then before you put the layering on the outside, you can actually attach it to here. I would recommend cutting the bottom off, and then attaching it, and then you just adhere it at the top, and it's really easy like that. You just glue it like this if you've already put the sides on. But what they have you do is they have you put it here, and this is so you get a better fit when it's closed. This will actually fit a little bit better, because you get that, like, whatever the thickness of the paper is, it fits nicer if you add it here. I did it both two ways. This one here, is on the out. Oh no, this one here is how it's supposed to be attached on the back side of this piece here. This one here, see, I attached it like I was telling you, onto the outside. So instead of the inside, it's on the outside, under the paper. They both look nice, but this one was a little bit tighter in closing, coming over this edge here, and this one would definitely work much easier. So this gets attached to the inside. So that's my outside where my layering goes. This goes on the inside, and this is going to fold up like this. So that's the inside. It goes like this. So let's go ahead and do that. Thing is, you got to eyeball the middle really well. You have to be like, and so I just take the two middle ones and I figure out where, let's flip it around, and where I think the top center is, and I'd pop those two, and then I curve each side down to where it's following the arch of the paper. Like that. And then you just burnish. Hang on one second. Okay, and now, yeah, you just have to burnish it down. Like so. The other thing, too, is because this is at an arch, this is at an arch, this doesn't actually allow you to open it up as far as this one does if you did it on the outside of the paper instead of the inside, but it's kind of your preference. Like, so that's what this one looks like, is like that. This one I did properly, and it opens up like that's all you get on it because of how it is. But it still works great, and it looks nice. So either way you go, if you forget, it's not a big deal. Okay, so there we have it. That's that. And now, and that looks pretty kind of, actually it looks like I'm that way. Well, it's going to have to be what it is. Okay, and so now you're also supposed to add your handles at this point. I don't generally, but I guess we can on this one because that's how you're supposed to do it. I didn't on either one of those other bags. I added them to the outside. But you're actually supposed to follow the line and adhere them on here, where it looks the nicest, and you're supposed to do it like that. So let's go ahead and add those because that's what you're supposed to do. And actually I'm going to do a score tape, 1/8 inch score tape, and glue. Score tape so it holds now, and then glue so it stays pretty permanent. So we'll go ahead and take the backers off. Yeah, all the other ones I forgot to add the handles, but we'll go ahead and do it properly. That's too much glue. You don't really need that much glue. And so you're just going to eyeball it, line it up. making sure it looks straight, looks nice. And then press them down. And now what you want to do is you also want to add them to this one, and you want to do it on the inside. So where you fold it, there's this line that you fold, and there's another tab too. So this is your outside, and you're going to put them on the inside. So let's go ahead, pull the backers off this one, and add some glue. And then you actually want to eyeball it. I'm going to put mine on the other side of this one, and I'm going to put them like this, and that's the inside, and then I'm going to line up. So I've got these two lined up, and then I'm going to line this one up with this other one on the back side. So they look good. And so now we'll turn this over. See, they're still lined up. Well, that one, it needs to come down just a tad. And let's see what that looks like. That looks pretty good still. That looks like it'll be super cute anyways. Okay, so we got those. And now we're going to do our sides. Okay, so what you want to do now is you want to take these, take one of your sides, and you want to fold all these little tabs down. Really simple. We're just helping them, encouraging them to be folded on their line. You want to go a little bit nicer than I'm doing, a little bit more precise, because the nicer that you fold them down, the nicer your side panel is actually going to look. So don't be willy-nilly like me. Take your time. Enjoy the process of all of it. Enjoy the process. And if I haven't said, you really want to take your time with this, just because it can start to get a bit daunting. And this is a small project. Like if you bought the castle compared to like the castle or the train, the advent calendar train or something like that, those can be very big projects. So you just have to like use these smaller ones to remind yourself, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be having fun, right? So, and then the other thing you want to do is you want to fold this in. Because this is going to be your starting tab. And now we're going to fold everything back out, and we're going to put 1/8 inch score tape on all of it. That's what I'm using. You could technically use glue or whatever other adhesive you have, but I'm going to run 1/8 inch score tape all the way down. Basically next to the score line of these scallops. And burnish it down. So I'm pressing it down. And then I'm also going to put it on this one as well. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the backers off of both sides. Both that and the tab down there. Make sure this one's up on top. Now this one here is where it gets interesting, because I start, and then push these down as well. And I'm going to start with this guy here, the one with the tab on it. And this, I always end up longer, and I end up having to trim this when I get down to here, but it's just kind of what it is. So what I end up doing is I hold this at a 90. I try to hold this at a 90. And actually, I'm not going to hold this one at a 90. It's a lie. I'm going to line this edge up with this edge here and start at the corner. Like that. Like that. So corner to corner, and then burnish that down. Make sure to burnish that. So that puppy is happy. And now what you're going to do is you're going to start, and you're going to line that first one up, And you're just going to line up each of the scallops with that edge, and you're just going to follow the arch all the way around. You're just going to just take your time and go slow, pressing each of the scallops right on the edge of the arch of the bag. Make sure to manipulate it around your latch as well. Onto your handles. And still following the arch because I can still see it. And you'll have to probably look on the inside for these. Whoops. Ah! Yep. Follow your arch all the way down. And then, yeah, mine always ends up. Because I try to keep that line to where it's not visible on the outside. But... oh. Well, this one I didn't have to cut it. Those other ones I had to cut. I don't know why. Who knows? But now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this tool and I'm going to burnish the heck out of it. All those tabs. Just pressing those tabs and that score tape into the fiber of the paper. Making sure everybody is happy and secure. Like so. Yep. Happy, happy. So the extra room on that space, obviously, if you don't put the handles, so if you don't put the handles and this where they have you put that in the directions, it comes out longer down here, I guess, which that's fine. And now that's what these little guys are for, these little tabs. And you want to put score tape on each side of the tab, and we're going to attach it there. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. Get our score tape. Yeah, these 3D projects, these bigger ones, take a little bit of time. So you definitely want to make sure you're enjoying it as you're going. And then if it gets daunting, just leave it alone and come back to it another day. The time to cut these out isn't that much, but after you've been at it for a while, you kind of get like, oh, I'm tired of cutting. So I always try to be sure to keep it fun. Okay, so now you're just going to take one side and you're going to line these two corners up with here to here on one side. And at the edge, that fold goes on the edge of that paper. And you're going to do it like that. And then that's what adheres this down. And you're going to just line this up. Those two edges and corner to corner there. And then same thing, you want to burnish it down. Yeah, when I start getting overwhelmed with the project because there's so much die cutting and stuff or gluing, I just set it down. I've had these pieces cut out for a couple days. It only took me like a couple of, like, not that long, couple little sessions, maybe 10 or 15 minute sessions, but after a minute, I just get overwhelmed with decisions. I'm like, oh, there's so much. Okay, I'm done. Let's keep it fun. And I walk away. And I found that really helps me if I can make it to where, especially if you're not on a time crunch, if you're obviously a content creator, you probably, or you're on a design team, you obviously, you know the drill. And, you know, but for, you know, people like me that are in their regular craft rooms and stuff, you're not doing it as a job. You can walk away and say, okay, I'm done with that today. You have the leisure of doing that. Okay, so now here's where you're supposed to be done with this. This is considered, the inside of this is considered finished. Or is it? No, the outside's considered finished. The inside, they tell you to put a decorative panel on the inside. But my issue with the inside decorative panel that they have you do is it doesn't necessarily cover up everything. Like, it doesn't disguise it that well for me. So what I did was, one of my alterations is I cut out the top of this base die. I cut out the top portion here. And I'm going to trim it down here right on the score line. And then I'm going to add this to the inside so that way it covers up most of the tabs and the gap, hopefully. So I'm going to trim this to this first score line right there. And just get that top half of the purse. Like that. And now what I want to do is, okay, because this is going to fit super tight in here, which is totally fine with me. I've trimmed them to where they go a little bit smaller. Actually, I should do a little tiny bit. Right here. I forgot. I think I am going to trim just a hair. Just right at the bottom here. Because this is the widest part from here to here. Not technically up here. And I do want to just a microscopic amount off. And now I'm going to add glue. And then this is going to end up going up over a little bit. But that actually doesn't bother me at all. And so we're going to throw a little glue so it adheres well. And then I'm going to take this bottom edge and I'm going to line it up with the bottom edge down here. Down there. And then we're just going to push it in. And we're just going to push it in. And I, at this point, take my bone folder and help press this down on the edges. And see, it kind of cups at the edge there. But that does not bother me at all. I actually like the look of that better than the gaps. Because like you can still see some of the gaps there. But I think it looks cleaner like when it's done like that. And I really like the look of it. And then pretty soon those little holes, they don't bother me too bad. This portion was definitely a trial and error to get it to how I actually like it to look. And so now I can go in and I can add my decorative layers to the inside. And then these I just line up as much as I can in the center of this. As much as I can. Because those couple I didn't really get, I didn't get them lined up too good on those other ones. And like you probably don't even have to trim this, that inner panel. You probably don't even have to do that. I just do it because it makes it a little bit easier plunking it down in there. And now the other thing I've done is I cut a 1 1/8 inch strip out of the rest, because it was out of scrapbook paper is what these are made out of. This is Heartfelt Creation scrapbook paper. And I love the pattern of it. And so basically what I'm going to do is this is a 12 inch by 1 1/8 inch. And I want to line the interior of it with it. And so I just push it from one corner to the other. And then I just kind of get it in the corner. And then I just trim it off with my scissors where I think it's going to look happy. Wait, be sure that it's all pushed in. So when you go to do it, it will be pretty good for the most part. And then I just take and I trim it at the corner like that. And add glue to this and then put it back. And then I have another piece that I trim. Let's see, it's 1 1/8 by... So then this is also a cohesive piece, which is why I like using the 12 inch as well. So then I just put it on one side, curve it all the way around. Making sure everybody's happy. Hey. Oh, whoops. There, like so. Push it all the way up to the top like that. And voila. And look how fun that is. Isn't that fun? That is so cute. Isn't that the cutest? That is so cute. I love what that looks like. That is darling. Okay. And now, what I want to do is, because I cut 3 of these, so now I want to, take and make a layer for the bottom. So everything is decorated. And so I'll use the other half of this for the other side. And we'll... And then we'll just layer this on the bottom here. And look how adorable that is. Like, right? Isn't that so cute? That is so cute! Oh, yeah. And that is all there is to that. That is adorable. And that's the inside of the box. Isn't that great? I think that is so cute. And now what we can do is we can actually decorate up the outside of this one as well. And this is going to be my outside. Oh my gosh, isn't that going to be adorable? Oh my, right? That is so cute. This reminds me of one of those bags that was on, I think it was like the Bradford Exchange or something. And they had those cute white purses that had the scenes on them. They were primarily like a Bob Ross or a Thomas Kincaid like esque scene. And they were so cute. So cute. I was like a couple years ago, if I'm remembering properly. But oh my gosh, right? Isn't that the cutest thing? That is the cutest thing ever. And then that'll go like that. Oh, I forgot to put the metallic element there. Let's add our little embellishment there. And we'll pop that on the front, right? Oh, how cute. That is adorable. Oh, and our piece for the back. Because we want that to look really nice. Hold on, wait for it. So this, so we don't see that. And then this you will have to trim off, I think. I generally was having to do that. So this one, pretty side out. Just going to follow that little line around. Line these two up. And boom. Yeah, I do have to cut it off just a tad. I have to trim it off a little. But that doesn't bother me at all. And that way it looks even and nice. And it looks nice on the back now, see? That looks pretty good, right? Yeah, I like it. And so now that's going to be the front there, like that. And so cute. Okay, so now, basically what you do is you do the same thing on the other side. And that's what I'm going to do. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what I was actually talking about when I said sometimes it's a little bit longer because we didn't have the detail of this that we had to go up over the latch portion. It actually ended up just a microscopic, see where it doesn't meet at the edge there, just a microscopic amount longer. And you could technically leave it, especially when you know, because you're going to add this piece here, and it won't be that big of a deal. Or you could just use your scissor and trim it off if you want, if you don't like the looks of it. Mine came out a little bit longer than that even. So that there doesn't bother me, and I'm going to go ahead and leave it. So I'm going to go, and I'm going to add this to the inside here, and then go ahead and fold this around. And do just like that. And then I can burnish this on the inside like so. And then come over here and burnish that side as well. And therefore now we have a really nice, a snug fit. And it actually, even though it's a little bit longer, it actually doesn't look that bad. It's not too bad. There we go there. And so, yeah, I was actually going to go ahead and try this here. Seeing if I did even have to trim out this portion. Because I was like, well, just in case you don't have to. And if it goes ugly, then you'll know on mine. If it's not that great, you guys are like, I don't want to do that. And then you don't have to test it out yourself. So here we go. So I'm going to pop this. Actually, we'll go like this, I guess. Curve it up a little. put the bottom edge at the bottom, like so. And then just press this in. Then we're just going to press that in, and we're going to use our bone folder and press it into the edge. Oh yeah, look how nice. That looks even better. It does come up right there, so you'll have to like decide if you like that or not. But I actually like the way this looks even better. And I only trimmed it off at that score line, and I think this looks pretty darn good. I think that's pretty happy to me. That's pretty good to me. I actually really like how that looks. That's really nice. Even better than this one, because I get a couple of little pockets there because I did trim it, I'm guessing. But that looks pretty good. So I'm going to add my layering pieces. I'll be right back. Okay, now that we have that done, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to attach the two pieces together. Now, I messed up here with my layering piece on the bottom there. I should have, well, how you're supposed to do it in the directions is you're actually supposed to glue this tab to this tab. And that's what's going to make it, so you're supposed to fold them in. Well, actually, you're not supposed to. Let's see, yeah. Yeah, you're supposed to fold them in. Like this. But I don't do that. I don't like the look of having, because it's actually technically this is supposed to go up like this. And then these two meet together. And I don't like what that looks like, having that tab on the inside. So what I do is I actually trim off. So when this is up, it goes like this. So you have this funky tab that then opens up on the inside. And since I don't like that, what I do is I cut one tab off, of which I generally do before I assemble it, but I forgot about that. I cut one of these off. And then what I do is I take and I fold this one back on itself, backwards. And actually, I fold it, what I do is I end up adhering it to this side. So I fold this one over I fold it over like this. And then that way, and that piece is actually so this piece is supposed to end up under there, under that layering piece. So unfortunately, since I forgot that, I'm going to have to, I'll just get another piece. Actually, I think I have another piece. It just works out if you do 3 1 1/8 by 12-inch strips, you end up with enough to go around and then end up with the 2 layering pieces. So now I'm going to have to cut another strip, but that's okay. So you guys, if you end up doing it like this, because otherwise you could just adhere these 2 tabs together and you're done. But I don't like what it looks like. I think it looks cleaner if we do it like this. So I'm going to line these guys up like this, corner to corner, make sure I'm flat on the table like this, and then I'm going to fold this over and press this secure, like so. And then I'm going to cut. I could actually probably even leave that. It actually doesn't look that bad because it's a white. Well, let's see. It doesn't look bad. I could technically leave it, but I think I am going to cut another strip. But that's what mine looks like when you do it like this. And I think this looks so much cleaner. And then they come up. It goes like that. And then we'll have our little zipper cover that goes over there. But I think, like, super cute. Oh, and I forgot to add this. I forgot to add this layer. Whoopsie. I'll pop this on really quick. And then that way we'll have the full effect of the layers on the outside. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Where's my pretty piece? There's an embossed detail on the front of this that I try to, I lined it up in the center. Okay, there we go. And now you got the full effect. And so, right, like, how cute is that bag? That is adorable. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. So now we just got to do our zipper. Oh, So let me grab that. Yeah, that actually doesn't look that bad. But let me grab the other. I think it'll look better if it does have a layering piece on it, though. Yeah, gosh, I am enthralled with that. That is so cute. And we need the zipper. So, so here's what we'll do. Because I'll have to like glue these zippers down. So let's put the zipper piece together and then it could be drying. So you've got this piece that has the 2 tabs on it. Those are just where you align. You're going to take a curved one and add it to each end and make one long piece like that. So this gets glue and this gets glue. That's too much glue. You don't need that much glue. So you're going to line this up edge, this edge on that little embossed detail, that line. And you just want to make sure that it's straight and happy on that tab. Straight and happy on that tab. Like so. And same with this one. Straight and happy on that tab. Just that everything lines up. And then you're just going to start at one end with your zipper pieces. You're literally going to start at the end and go all the way to the other side. And they go the full length. And are so adorable. I just run down the middle of the zipper. I don't try to, I really don't try to make sure that every little zipper piece is glued down. It's unnecessary. And it's going to overlap. It's going to overlap there. Your little connector pieces, which will make it look seamless. But then once you get to the next one, it actually makes it to where it actually will join and you won't even know. You won't even be able to tell that there's a seam. And it's super cool. So you just literally line up one to the other. And just make sure you're in the middle. That's your goal. And like, right? How cute is that? This zipper is darling. See, isn't that adorable? And so then this will go. And this will line up. Just stay in the middle. Like so. See? Look how cute. And then you just trim the end off. Isn't that great? And that is like so nice, right? I know I'm crooked there, but don't worry, you don't see it. And then all you do is just trim off the end. That easy. That simple, right? Okay. And then what we're going to do on the back side of this is we're going to run 2 strips of 1/8" score tape. But you're not trying to glue this entire thing on. You're only wanting half to be adhered. So I'm just going to run it like this on one side, whoops, as close to the edge as I can go, like this. So all the way to one side like that. Because this piece is going to overlap to the other side. But I actually want to do it 2 1/8" strips. I want to stack this on top of this side because I want the thickness of the score tape stacked on top of each other. And I know you're thinking, well, that's not very much. It isn't, but it's actually the perfect amount in order for those to close together really nicely. And so then what you're going to do is you're going to take this off like that, right? And you're going to figure out which side. Like I want mine to be on the side. It doesn't matter, but I always like to put it on the side with the latch, the buckle portion. And I grab it, I get in the center at the top of it, and I end up taking, so make sure your adhesive is on the right side. And what you're going to do is it's going to line up with that dashed line there. And I take the center and I try to line up the center with the center and up to that dashed line. like that. So I just adhere it there. And then I'm going to follow this all the way around, lining it up with that dashed line. Like that. Like that. And then you're going to go follow it all the way around. And it just seems like it works out to where it's more even that way. It seems like it. Maybe there's a better way to put it on, but this is pretty much what has worked for me. And then I also like the look of it and how like right is that the cutest thing ever. And so then it makes it, I don't know, I think it works out pretty good for it closing up like that. Wait, why does it look funky? What is going on? Oh, is it because I didn't cut? Oh, hold on. Oh, it's because I didn't cut it. I should have cut the, well, it closes up. I just should have cut, see, it'll go like that. It'll go like that. Oh, and actually, I put that on the wrong side. Oh, shoot. I actually put it on this side so it covers this way and you don't see the seam. Where you see the gap now, because that's what the problem is. I like to put it, yeah, see, you see the gap? Like when you're looking at it. Oh, I don't like to see the gap. You should attach it to the side without the latch. There was a method to the madness, but that's okay. That's okay. Shoot. Yeah, I don't think I can take that off either. That's score tape. That's on there. Well, shucky darn. Alright, that's okay. That's okay. It's still really stinking cute. So then what you're going to do is you're going to add your zipper on each side. I cut one for each side. Mine's got the double zipper thing going. So I got one for each side. That's okay though. I don't like to see that edge. See, none of these, all of these are on this side. And I ended up cutting mine off at the bottom. You know where I put that hinge and it was over? I think that's what's giving me a fit on those. Because I ended up trimming it off at the end. The same with this one. I love it on this side. I put it on the wrong side. Darn it all. And if you pull it off, it looks like this. Like you get that funkiness from where you pull off the tape. See, this was my first one I did. I put it together and I had all my little trial and errors. And this one I had to trim off too, and I trimmed it off. And it just looks so much nicer. And it works better, it seems like, too, if you trim it. So the one spot is just too long. So now it impedes it because I didn't trim it. That's a bummer. I can't believe I did that. That's okay. All right, learn from my mistakes, folks. Learn from my mistakes. It's still pretty stinking cute, though, right? That is still pretty cute. And these are, the little obstacles that we run into when we're putting stuff together. But that's also why you have to trim that piece off. Yep, you should totally trim the piece off. Because otherwise it makes it janky. It sticks out too far is what happens. See how far it's sticking out? And it's because I didn't trim it. I should have trimmed that edge off. Okay, well, remember to trim your edge off. And then you won't have it janky like that. But now we need to attach our lock. And what the lock is this piece here. So you're going to fold the two lines in the middle. There's two score lines. And you want to fold on both of those so that way it makes a rectangle piece, a little square piece at the end. So you end up with it looking like that. See, like that? You want it to be like that. And then you're going to fold this up. One goes one way, at a 90, and then the other goes the other way at a 90. And I attached this with score tape and glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put that like so. Grab some score tape. I'm kind of bummed now. My bag, because I didn't trim that off. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. That's okay. And now, so I just glued and score taped that together. And now I'm going to run a piece of 1/8 inch score tape down the center of that seam where those two meet. Like so. Make sure my score tape's on the top. Add a touch of glue. But I'm going to knock just a tad off of that so it doesn't gush out and get everything nasty. And then I put it to where you can do this however, but I put it to where the scallop is down. And then I end up, make sure your bag is nice and tidy and closed. I know, I'm like bummed now. Aww. Okay, nice and tidy and closed. And then I put this in here like so. And then you just hold it gently. Push this down. And then just line it up to where it looks good. And then you're going to let it open. And then as long as it looks good to you, you're going to just press it down. And then you want to let this adhere for just a couple of minutes. So that way, so that way it has time to attach. And it doesn't just get pulled off the first second you, whoops. Oh, man. It doesn't get pulled off the first second that you, see? And then, voila! How cute, right? That's still pretty cute. Especially with the design and everything. I mean, that's actually still pretty cute. That is pretty adorable, right? That is, even with my little faux pas there, because I didn't trim it, it's still pretty darn cute. I think that's adorable. Okay, so now what we can do is we can add our little accoutrements. Oh, I was supposed to add the zippers. Add our little cuteness to our adorable little bag. So I just literally attach it like that. And metallic on metallic takes a little bit of time to adhere because it's slick on slick. So if you just hold it for a second there, like so. You might even put a bit of score tape on it if you want. I actually like it when the little zipper sticks out a bit because it looks like real. It makes it more realistic. It's so cute. Yeah, so we'll latch our little fella. Okay, and then pop our other little zipper on the other side. So actually, maybe I'll just put the glue up here. And if you don't put as much because it doesn't need it. Oh, that other one fell off because I was dinging around with it. Oh, man, yeah, because it's metallic. If you add a bit of score tape, it will be much nicer. But let me pop this back on and let these dry. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, so too, while I was gluing my zippers on, I also started gluing my chains together because these take a minute since it's metallic on metallic as well. I glued back to back. And I'm just literally running a bead of glue down the back of it, a thin bead of glue, and then sticking them together, and then I'm going to let them sit here and dry. I'll be right back. Okay, now the other thing you can do if you want is you can add these little little buckle belts, little straps. And so I just got 2 here. And these are great because you can just make them to whatever length you want. And so I just like to add just a couple like to each side like that. I think that is so cute there. And so I'm going to go ahead and just do 2 on the front. And I'm actually just going to trim them a little, because we don't need to have them that long. So you literally just glue them, put them on there wherever you want to see them at. And yeah, so I'm just going to do like so. And then I also cut out some gold buckles as well. And so I want to go ahead and like glue the buckle on, because I think it looks cute if it's like this. Like if it's glued on like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a touch of glue to the back of where the little buckle would go. Like so. Whoops. Wait. Hold it there for just a minute to let it adhere. While it's adhering, I'm going to put some glue on the back so I can just get this down. Be very gentle. And then apply. Hopefully straight, because I don't want a crooked belt. But right, isn't that so cute? It's so realistic looking too. I think that is super fun. So let's go ahead and add the this other one on. Just kind of get it kind of sort of where we want it. And maybe we don't have to add it to the front then. Oh, we do. I'm not sure where this will go. Oh, whoops. It's really far. Uh-oh. My buckle's falling off. All right. We had a buckle debacle there for a second. Oh, well, still having a buckle debacle. Hold on. There we go. I think I have to add glue. I think my glue came off. Whoops. Oh wait, I probably need my tweezers. It's like surgery. It's craft surgery. This is like, if it was the Olympics, this is like the marathon of the crafting world. If we were, what did someone called us craftleets? I thought that was so cute. Yeah, we're craftleets in the Olympics. This is definitely our little marathon. Or this could be like the 5K, and like the castle is the, the 26-mile one. Yeah, the full marathon or a half marathon, right? But isn't that so cute? Oh, that is adorable. Okay, so now what we want to do is, I know I have these other three little guys here. So tassel and tag. So the tag, I cut out a base dye for the back and a base dye in the decorative for the front. So when I did white, that was the same. And you don't have to do this, but I just think it looks nicer. Cleaner looking. It's not messy. And it makes it super sturdy. I really like how sturdy these come out too if you double them up. They're just really nice and clean looking. And then I did the gold for the front. I added the inlay to that base dye. And just gonna pop that on, but that's how you make the tag. It's really simple as well. And it's nice because the directions tell you how to put these together, the basic version, and then you can amp them up whatever you want to do. And then isn't that going to be so cute? And then that's what the back, like the back's nice and clean. Well, it's nice and clean if you don't have grubby hands like me. So then I cut this out. I cut this little element out for my metallic, my faux little metallic tag. So what I did was I cut it out in gold, and then I just stuck this on some white cardstock and just cut it out with my scissors. Just, hand trimmed that out. And just so it had a little backer on it. I just thought it looked nicer with the backer. Made it pop, basically. It seemed like. So then, yeah, so then it's just like that. And it's super cute. And then it also makes it easier to adhere to the bag. There we go there. So we have those elements. And this we can actually go ahead, excuse me, we can go ahead and pop on the back. Because I wanted this to be like, oh, the little designer tag that's on bags sometimes. I thought that would be super cute, right? Like, right? Isn't that adorable? That is pretty cute. So you get a little decorative element back there. I think that is darling. Look how cute this is turning out. Isn't that so sweet? Okay, and so we have our chains that we're letting dry still here. So one for the tag and one for this tassel. And then this tassel, what I think is fun is if you take some reverse tweezers, so something that'll hold it, and then add score tape. Where's my 1/8" score tape? Add some score tape. Whoa. Add some score tape to it. Let's see. We're going to, yeah, score tape to the back of it. At the top, you're going to just add it to the back of the tassel. At the top. Make sure you're adhesive. And then I just hold it here with my tweezers. And then I just start rolling. And I don't try to go all the way to the end because it's not really necessary. You just need it to where it just starts. And then once you kind of get it going and just follow the line, it will basically do the work itself. And then do add a bit of glue because it will try to come apart on you with just score tape because you can't really burnish that score tape down too well. And then I just fluff up the little tassels so you can tell it's like it's a really pretty tassel element. Like isn't that great? Okay, and so then the cap, this is your bead cap or your tassel cap. I do the same thing. Put the 1/8" score tape on the back. And then you still will need glue, but the adhesive or the score tape will help it to hold together. And just the smallest amount. You do not hardly need any. And so then you start on like, if you start on the seam, it works nice. And then you just line it up at the bottom, like where the tassels start is where I do it at. I don't know what the proper way is, but I just follow it around and wrap it. Oh, like so. That is the gist of it. And that is your super cute tassel. Isn't it adorable? And then what you can do is, after you get your grubby mitts off of it, and then that's where these little chains come in. These little chains, what you're going to do is you're just going to take them, and you're going to wrap them. Whoops, we don't need that. These little chains, you're just going to take it and wrap it. And, you can add glue. Like actually, if you glue it together, if you glue one side first and then wrap this around and tweezer it, it works the best. Generally. So let me do that actually. On each of these, I'm gonna put a dot of glue. And because it's metallic on metallic, it takes a minute. So you'll definitely want to let it set like that. And then you want to do the same on this one as well. I'm just going to line this up on the back like that. And I'm going to use my other reverse tweezers. And I'm just going to hold it and let it glue it. And let it dry there. And then once it's dry, what I'll do is I'll wrap it around here like this, put another dollop of glue on it, and then use the tweezers and hold it on that side. And then as soon as that gets done, I'll show you what it looks like. I'll be right back. Okay, so here we go. What I've done to hurry the process up is I added a tiny bit of score tape on the front there, 1/8" score tape, and I thought that'll probably get me going here, and then I can get these attached, and then you guys can see what the project is going to look like. And then when they pop, if they pop off, I can just go back and do the glue thing. I'm just squeezing it with my little tweezers. Oh, it's on the wrong side anyhow. Oh, shoot. Well, you're supposed to put that to the back. All right. Well, hey, it is what it is, right? I did the same on this one. Added a little score tape to the front. This, I know, is the front of the tag. And so I'm just going to add that there. And press. And then just dangle that a little. And that way you guys can see it, and then it won't be here forever. We won't be here forever. I wish I would have put that on the back, but hey, that's okay. There it is there. All right, let me know what you guys think of the bag down in the comments below. So what did we learn from this? We learned that we like the latch goes on the back, obviously, but the zipper looks the nicest if it's on the front. We also learned that we should trim the bottom piece off because otherwise it protrudes out too far and it impedes this side here. We also learned that we didn't have to cut other than on that score line for the liner piece on the inside. If you wanted to cover up all of the little scalloped adhesive pieces, it worked really good just to press it in and burnish it down with your burnishing tool. But yeah, and I think that's about it. Those were the little tips that we learned and little tricks. And I thought this came out super, super cute. And wasn't too bad. So, oh wow, 1 hour and 15 minutes to assemble. Was actually a little bit longer than that because I paused. So you're probably, you're probably with cutting everything out about 1 hour, probably an afternoon, a few hours. You could have one of these done, especially if you already have paper in mind and things like that and what you want to do. And yeah, and so then the other thing we learned was don't attach your tassel backwards. Make sure your seam is on the back. But there it is there. And yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks so much for hanging out. If you're still here, I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you're having a terrific day. Until next time, happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.